Hello, everybody. This show has been created to inspire you to take action.
All about celebrating and reframing what success looks like.
To be the best version of ourselves that we can be.
And we have incredible speakers for you tonight.
Hello and welcome to the Future Females Show. I'm Susanna Kennedy and I'm really excited because today we have a doctor in the house. Yes, we do. We have a woman who is living and working in a male-dominated industry and has taken plastic surgery and added aesthetics and all kinds of other practices into her center and brought together 24 employees, all female, all working together to help you feel more beautiful, more confident, and more just happy and well within yourself. Dr. Narina Wilkinson, welcome to the Future Females Show. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. That's a lovely introduction. I think you've got a good summary of what my journey over the last 25 years has been about. And I'm excited to be chatting about that.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked the introduction, but I think that we should delve just a little bit deeper, just for 2 minutes or so. Can you please tell us how you became this amazing plastic surgeon and created this incredible company that really does, it's a woman-owned and woman-run business, which I absolutely love, especially in a male-dominated industry. How did that come to be?
So it's a long journey, and I always say I'm not sure if people realize what it entails to become a plastic surgeon. So for a female plastic surgeon is, as you mentioned, I'm a doctor, so you first qualify as a medical doctor, but then it's another 6 years of specializing before you become a plastic surgeon. And that's where the challenge comes in, because when one wants to specialize in any field, there's only 1 or 2 people who are allowed into the specialty to start specializing. So it doesn't mean to say you decide, oh, I want to be a plastic surgeon, and you suddenly become a plastic surgeon. So it's a long journey just through medical school, and then to apply to be one of the chosen doctors who can then specialize in plastic surgery. And so that was the first part of my life. I suppose it was doing well at school, then doing medical school, and then specializing. So I was only at the age of 30 that I became a plastic surgeon. But when we look at the historically how plastic surgeons work is you will have your plastic surgery practice, you will be your surgeon, you will have an assistant, and that's generally what most plastic surgeons do. But what I've found is, and especially as a female, and I'm sure you'll know the same, I'm not sure if you've dabbled in a little bit of Botox or a little bit of skin treatments, but when we're faced with what are the decisions we need to make, that's where you get totally confused, because there's so many options and so many doctors that you can go to that you don't know who you can trust. You don't know, do I start with surgery? Do I start with a non-surgical treatment? And so what I have done in my business is I have, as I say, taken some experts in their fields, and we've really integrated the cosmetic surgery, plastic surgery, aesthetic non-surgical treatments, as well as skin science, so that we can really educate our patients and give them a holistic approach to the whole anti-aging journey. I talk about a journey because that's what it is. And whether you're going to start at age 25 with what we call prejuvenation, or whether you're going to end up, with having a facelift, but it's all about empowering women to make the right decision.
So much came up for me there, in your answer. The first thing is that I really want to understand the difference between all of these offerings that you have, but also just how did you navigate, because this is very much a male-dominated, or previously a very male-dominated industry. How did you navigate that, and was the fact that it is a very male-dominated industry one of the leading factors to you creating an all-female team?
So a few questions there. So yes, being in this male-dominated field, is I always sort of say to people, if you had to choose a plastic surgeon, would it be a male or a female? And especially if you're a female, my my feelings would be that you would want somebody who understands what you are going through, what your insecurities are, what you want to improve. Because sometimes what in my teachings, and I had some amazing mentors as plastic surgeons while I was training, was they often want to tell you what you need, and there's no listening. And I think that's where us as females have a strong power, is to listen and to understand what a person really wants. Because sometimes you would find that people go and have a surgical procedure and the outcome is not what they wanted, but it's because the surgeon didn't really listen, because they know best. And I know I'm making it sound sort of a bit feminist, but I think women are better listeners, and we really want to work with our patients to know what they want. And I think that gave me the strength that when I completed my studies was to learn from my patients, to find out what was it that they wanted, not what I was going to tell them to do. Because it's so very easy to just stick to, you've been taught to do this, and you just carry on because I know best, I'm the specialist, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do. And I think that's where it started, where I realized that a lot of my patients want a slightly more subtle result. They don't want to look done. They want to have the natural look. And the only way to achieve that is what I call a journey, is taking baby steps. And to achieve that, that's why I needed to put a team together, because I'm a trained plastic surgeon. And what the whole approach is about is aesthetics. So that's where we talk about things like Botox and injectables, and your muscle relaxing injections, and skin treatments. And then when we go to skin science, that's a whole different field in itself. And it's not just a chemical peel. Every person's skin is different. And they may need a very bespoke approach towards their skin, because what your friend has is not what you need. So for me, it was really taking a group of highly trained female experts who are leaders in their fields, be it in injectables, be it in skin science, and putting this group of experts together and encouraging them to really be the best in their fields. And holistically, by us working together, obviously we then can achieve the best results for a patient, and in the time zone that they're looking for. So if they want to do it slowly, there's a certain route that we can take. If they want to, I always say, they want to take the Ferrari, we can take the Ferrari and get there a lot quicker. And so it all depends on, their personality, what their time zone is like. Do they have time to recover? Don't they have time to recover? So there's so much involved in the journey of a patient and the experience of a patient. And that's why I've created my team around me.
I really love what you're saying. I just want to clarify, like, I'm a feminist, but I think a lot of people misunderstand what feminism is. It's not male bashing or male hating, or even thinking that men are less than women in any way. It's understanding that men and women bring different qualities and different beautiful gifts to this world. And I do agree with you. Women are generalization, guys, but generally better listeners. And I've actually had a number of friends who have gone to plastic surgeons before for one thing, and then they've come back to me and said, I went because I wanted this done, but now he's saying that I need to do this and this and this and this, and that didn't even worry me before, but now I'm looking at my face in this whole new way. And I think that can also be very disempowering, to go to somebody and not be just listened to about what is actually bothering you, and putting forward doubts that weren't even bothering you before. So I really love that approach of sitting and actually listening and hearing what your client wants and how they want to navigate it. I also just want to commend you on bringing together all of these amazing different skills under one roof, because I agree with you. There's so many ways you can do things, and I know, like me and Lauren, my partner in the Future Females show, like we would probably do things differently, you know, and we would need different things. And you know, Lauren is just like a full steam ahead kind of person, and I'm a little bit more like, let's check it out, you know. So I love that you've brought together all of these skill sets in such a beautiful way under one roof. One of the things that I did read up was that you really want to empower your team to empower themselves and navigate their own path within your business. For other female entrepreneurs that want to create a company that has other female employees or other employees and wants to empower them to do the same, what advice would you give to them?
I think it's super important, because we often, and I think as females, we can either work really well together. A lot of times, again, now let's do maybe a bit of female bashing here, is where a lot of women don't want to allow another woman to be stronger than her. So we have this, and I want to use the word bitchiness. And often we become bitchy around when a whole lot of women work together. And I think the most important thing is when every person works to their own strengths. And when, like when I put my team together, it was really, and initially we had a few problems, I'm going to be honest. I mean, as your group of females grow from 3 to 6 to 10 to 12 to 24, you start having those little undercurrents happening in I think it happens in any business, but women can be bad. And it's really about getting to know each person in the team and understanding what their strength is. And that the rest of the team understands what their strength is, because then once people play to their strengths, I think we start losing our insecurities. That if we're doing something, and I'm talking about, I have a group of ladies I've got doctors working with me, I have skin therapists working with me, I have admin people, I have marketing people. So we're talking about people who have lots of different skills, but sometimes it's finding his example is one of my skin therapists. Her strength was not skin therapy. She's now my head of marketing. And so it was, while she was insecure in what she was doing more in the skin therapy environment, she's gone to marketing. She is a star. Because she understands skin science, she understands the science, she understands it, but she's not I don't think she enjoyed being a therapist per se. And she is just the best person ever. If I look at how strong she is, she's the strongest player when it comes to marketing. So it's often taking someone maybe out of one role and allowing them to grow into another role, which I've found with my team. And I've seen a lot of my team members changing what they initially came to do. But it's really listening again to them and knowing what it is that what is it that I don't know, what ignites them, what is their passion, and once we find their passion, you'll find your team just functions so much better.
Absolutely. It's about allowing them to actually step into their flow, into their greatness, and supporting that. I absolutely love that. I want to ask you two questions that kind of go side by side. You know, you are such an impressive woman. I mean, I've read your CV, and everybody that's watching right now, you can go and read up on Nerina online, because I don't want to waste this time telling you all the amazing things that she's done, but I definitely think that you should do that. She is incredibly an impressive woman. In all of this time of building this business, of achieving all of these milestones that you have achieved, what is the best piece of advice that, first of all, you have received along the way, and the best piece of advice that you would give to other female entrepreneurs that perhaps you wish you had known when you started this entire journey?
That's an interesting question. So I'd probably say the best advice I was ever given, and I'm talking whether it's being an entrepreneur or whether it's just wherever you start your business. Now, it was in New York many years ago. When I finished as a plastic surgeon, I went over to New York, and as most South Africans, we always believe that we in South Africa are not as good as people overseas. So the one thing I learned there was actually we're just as good as they are. But there was this one lesson, and it's quite a simple lesson, where one of the plastic surgeons, and I was talking about starting. Now, obviously, I've just qualified as a plastic surgeon, got no patients. And how do you start a business? Because nobody knows who you are. Nobody has any idea if they can trust you. And we were talking about, where do you open your practice? And so he said, now, if you think of Fifth Avenue in New York, and he said, and you think of a shoe store, now, where would you open your shoe store? Would you go to the lane where all the shoe stores are, or would you go to like 2 or 3 lanes down the road and open where there's no shoe store? Now, at that stage, I had no idea about business, so I would say, well, I'd go where there's no shoe stores, because there's going to be no competition there. That was my logical thought process. And then he said, no, he says, when people are shopping for shoes, they're going to go to the lane where all the shoe stores are. So you go open slap bang in the middle where all the shoe stores are. And I suppose it was probably the biggest lessons I learned at a very young age, is that when you want to start a business, surround yourself with people who are in the same business. And if it's something, starting a business, don't see people as competition. And I've done that now with, as I say, because obviously I've become, everyone knows who I am, and I've now got an established business. And when young doctors come and they sort of want to come into my building and open their practice, say, you're welcome, because the more people who are doing the same thing, the more we all become experts. There's enough patients around. So I think best lesson, don't think of your competitor as competition. Think of them as an ally. And if you do that, you'll find that your success will be a lot sooner than just trying to do something on your own.
I absolutely love that.
My lesson learned.
Yeah, that it's such an abundance mindset, that there's enough. And I think that that's such an important lesson for all female entrepreneurs, for all entrepreneurs, actually, because we get stuck on there's not enough, but actually there's more than enough, always. So I really love that. That's a great one. And then your piece of advice?
Well, I suppose it kind of followed on its head. So I took the advice, and now I've kind of given that advice, but I'd probably say the next, and what if I have to think of my business, so as I say, initially I started it like any normal plastic surgeon. I was a plastic surgeon. I had my nurse and my assistant. So I was working just as a plastic surgeon. But when I realized that I wanted to do things differently, because that's exactly what I've done, it was to be very clear on what my purpose and my vision was. Because if you're not clear when you start, it's so difficult to know where you're going to grow to. And so my initial purpose was to empower women to feel more confident about themselves, and that being my purpose was, well, how do I get there? What is the vision? How am I going to make this happen? And so I realized, to do that, I needed to have a group of trusted experts. So I needed to find those experts so that I could empower people, because I could only empower people as a plastic surgeon, but I didn't have the skin science, and I mean, yes, I had a bit of aesthetics, but I needed to add my experts so that I could really achieve what I wanted to achieve, because you can't do something on your own. You really need to surround yourself with, I'm going to say, career-centered people, and to find those people who, as you say, you've also got your partner who's got different strengths. And once you're very clear about what that purpose and vision is, I think everything else follows.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a roadmap of where you're going, well, then it's going to be futile to even start the business.
Absolutely. Nerina, I feel like we could talk for ages, but we have run out of time, like so quickly. It's just gone so quickly. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing your time, sharing your knowledge. I'm sure that, you know, so many female entrepreneurs who are wanting to go in this line of business or anything similar have gained so much from this time with you today. So thank you for your time. I can't wait to meet you in person. I know that I'm coming to see you tomorrow, so I'm very excited about that as well, and to actually see your setup. It sounds incredible, and I really wish you all the best. May you go from strength to strength.
Great. Thank you so much for the time. And yes, looking forward to seeing you, and we'll sort of take you on that journey of empowerment.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. And to everybody watching at home, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been another episode of the Future Females Show. I'm Susanna Kennedy. Remember to like, share, and comment below so that we can empower as many women as possible. And I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.